So my name is Mrs. Goodman, and I'm going to be giving you guys a little demonstration about Kerzweil. So it's a reading program that's available to all students here, and you're going to be able to download it on your computer. So you'll see the icon once it's downloaded. It'll show up on your desktop, and it looks like this little guy. So in a few minutes, Grady, yours will be able to show up. You'll have your username and your password, and your password is actually your lunch code, so that works out pretty well. And your username is something that it populated for you, so you'll find out about that. But essentially, when you open it, you'll have this blue screen. It'll probably give you a tip of the day. And then you'll want to try and find whatever books you might be reading. So say you're reading Life of Pi. So you're going to go to File, Open from Library. So I have all the students registered at EPS under my library. And so anything I've put under East Side Preparatory School, K. Goodman 12, you're going to go to the public folder. You'll be able to see any type of book in here. You can see there's Gilgamesh, there's Guns, Germs, and Steel, The Odyssey, Of Mice and Men, Scarlet Letter. So let's say you want to read Life of Pi. You go there and you click Open. And so this is where I left off last time when I was reading Life of Pi. I left off at chapter 38. And you might be saying, this is just too small a print, I can't see that. You can actually expand it. So this is 150%. Or if you wanted it even more, you could even go to 200. Let me turn my volume on so you can hear. So the biggest thing about Kerzweil that I think you'll find helpful is it actually reads aloud. So you can follow the print as it's reading aloud to you.
I don't understand. Working as a ship that moves on, foolish being different to its surroundings. The sun shone, rain fell, winds blew, currents flowed, the sea built up hills, the sea dug up valleys, and sensible did not care. It moved with the slow, massive confidence of a continent. I had bought a map of the world for the trip. I had set it up in our cabin against the work billboard. Every morning I got our position from the control bridge and marked it on the map with an orange tip pin. We sailed from Madras across the Bay of Bengal, down through.
Okay, so you get the idea that you can click on it and it'll read to you. So if you don't like that voice, you have a few options. You can go up here where it says Will. He seems to be kind of the favorite for some people, but let's try Heather to see what you think. And then say that was reading too slow for you. We can increase the reading speed using these, or we can also decrease the reading speed.
I don't understand. For days the ship had pushed on, foolishly indifferent to its surroundings. The sun shone, rain fell, winds blew, currents flowed, the sea built up hills, the sea dug up valleys, the Simpson did not care. It moved with the slow, massive confidence of a continent. I had bought a map of the world for the trip. I had set it up in our cabin against a port billboard. Every morning I got our position from the control bridge and marked it on the map with an orange tip pin. We sailed from Madras across the Bay of Bengal, down through the Strait of Malacca, around Singapore and up to Manila. I loved every minute of it. It was a thrill to be on a ship.
That's a little bit about the reading. So again, this is how you change your voice. You have a few options. And then this is how you control your speed. And then this is how you control whether you zoom in or zoom out. But you might also notice I have some highlighters here down at the bottom. So the cool thing about this program is in addition to reading aloud, it also will help you highlight main ideas. So you can maybe pick your highlighters. So if I wanted to have yellow be my main ideas, then I can highlight things that I think are yellow. So for example, I'll just kind of highlight maybe this, I feel like. And if I want to go to the next page, I use these to scroll up. And maybe I want to highlight this to be yellow. And I'm going to scroll up to the next page. Maybe this to be yellow. So these are my main ideas that I found as I've been reading through. For green might be supporting details. So these are things that would help my main ideas if I were to write a paper. So maybe I'll highlight this as a supporting idea. Maybe I'll do something like this. And then for blue, you'll see when I click on it, it's vocabulary words. So I'm going to go through and just highlight a few vocabulary words. Okay, so here are some vocabulary words. If I wanted to actually need to study some vocabulary words from a reading, I could go over to File, Extract. And I could go down to the bottom, Extract Highlights to create a vocabulary study guide. And I want to open it into a new file. So it's pulling all the highlights from this document, which might take it a couple minutes. Not a couple minutes, but maybe 2 minutes because there are 166 pages. So it's going through. So if I had done this for many, many pages, it would have a huge list. Okay. So you can see down here that here are some of the vocabulary words at the bottom. There it is. So it recognizes this is a vocabulary word. It tells you what part of speech, and then it'll tell you its definition and if there is another second definition. And the same thing goes for this. Verb. It could also be a noun. Kind of goes through. So that's a little bit about vocabulary words. If you wanted to actually pull all of the things you highlighted as far as your notes, you'd go back up to File, go to Extract, and you want to extract your notes and highlights. So I could do main ideas, supporting details, vocabulary, like everything I highlighted basically. So say I want to do that. It's going to go through the whole document. And it's going to give me a new document that looks like this. It tells me what page my highlights are from. I can see I highlighted in yellow, so I was looking for main ideas. More pages that it pulled from. And it'll actually put more into like an outline format, my supporting details. So in green is what I highlighted as supporting details, and it'll show the vocabulary words that I also have. So this is how you can actually be able to pull your notes from your reading and actually use these as notes. So we've talked a little bit about how to find books. Say your teacher gives you a PDF. Well, Kerzweil actually reads PDF. So if you have PDFs of things you need to read that are posted on Canvas, you can actually pull it. So I'm going to pull an example from a PDF that I actually already put into the library. So I'm going to go Open from Library. I'm going to go to the public folder. Again, anything that's in the Eastside Preparatory School, the Goodman 12 public folder, everyone can access. I'm going to put in this National Geographic article that was actually an assignment from prehistory this year for Mrs. Rainwater. So, again, I can scroll to find my pages. So this is what the first page looks like. I'll make it a little bigger. Maybe not that. Alright, it's called Evolutionary Road. This was a reading for prehistory a couple weeks ago. So, she scanned it in and she posted it on Canvas as a PDF. And then you can pull it from there. And you'll see that there are some pictures, but these tiny little text, if you really wanted to be able to read this aloud, you just put your cursor wherever you want it to start, and it'll start reading.
The Middle Watch Research Project, which Y co-directs with his Ethiopian colleagues Berhan Spot and Geriwodi Gabriel, announced its greatest good fortune last October, the discovery, 15 years earlier, of the skeleton of a member of our family that had died 4.4 billion years ago at a place called Aramis, less than 20 miles north of today's Yardi Lake.
Okay, so you can see, so it is a recorded voice, and you can see that there are certain words that maybe the person who's reading it sounds a little funky. But in general, when you are looking at this and also hearing it, it'll help with your comprehension to be able to follow along as it's being read aloud. So again, this is an example of a PDF that you can actually use, and you can do the same things that I just did. So you can see your highlighters are all illuminated, and you can use any of these highlighters to pull from this text. Alright, say you wanted to read the web. It will actually read websites for you. So I'm going to click read the web. So what you would want to do is it reads only through Internet Explorer or Mozilla. I like to read through Mozilla Firefox. I feel like it goes faster. So if I wanted to read, say, we'll get a CNN. See what maybe they've got today. So if I wanted to go here, then I could actually click on an article.
Politics.
For politics, yeah. Alright, that's a bad one because it's going to give me a video instead. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. So then here, I would just hover over my buttons here and be able to click on the read or next. So it has this little Kerzweil bar up here whenever I click on whatever website. So you'll see that even if I left CNN, say I wanted to read about sports today, and I decided to go to ESPN instead, I get that same reading bar. So again, Kerzweil will read off of Mozilla Firefox or Internet Explorer. It will not read off of Chrome. So one thing I did was I actually went to a website that biology used, and I actually had the website then print to Kerzweil. And I will open that. So this is called What is a Cell? Alright, so this is from a biology class earlier this year. This is an article called What is a Cell? That I was able to print. When I right-clicked on the website, I printed the article. You know how you can print to OneNote? You can also print to Kerzweil. So that's how it got in here. Same thing. I can read it.
Trees in a forest, fish in a river, horseflies on a farm, lemurs in the jungle, trees in a pond, worms in the soil. All these plants and animals are made of the building blocks we call cells. Like these examples, many living things consist of vast numbers of cells working in concert with one another. Other forms of life, however, are made of only a single cell, such as the many species of bacteria and protozoa. Cells, whether living on their own or as part of a multicellular organism, are usually too small to be seen without a light microscope.
Okay, so again, same thing. You can do read aloud. You can use your notes. All of my highlighters are highlighted, so I can pull from vocabulary words here. And then I can read the article about the cell. So this is just another example of being able to use websites. You can use PDFs, and then you can use digital texts that are on here. So if you have readings that are coming up that are kind of larger books, whether it's maybe Life of Pi or other novels, if they aren't already on here, you can email me or you can tell Mr. Anderson and he'll let me know. That way I can look for them and I can pull them into the Universal Library so that everyone has access to them. Do you guys have any questions about some of the kind of basic stuff that I just showed you?
Does this require a Wi-Fi? It's like if I wanted to work on this in the car, can I just pull a document off of your library?
Yeah, I don't think it requires Wi-Fi for it. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't tried that though. I'll have to try it maybe
You might have to pull it out first,
Yeah.
and then
And
then when you get in the car to leave
Yes.
to go to somewhere, then it would probably work.
Yeah. I think that would be a good thing, is to make sure it's already like in your folder, and then be able to use it to read. But you can just save, you save these things wherever you want to. So it's just like any document. You just click Save As, and you can send it to, you know, wherever you have your documents. If you have created a folder that's, you know, 2014, 2015, you can put your documents in there, because it will populate. You know, right now I have this open. I also have, that was from reading the internet, I also have this National Geographic open. I have this note page open. So this note page will not save unless I save it. So you'll see when I exit, it says, do I need to save this? And if I wanted to click yes, then I could find out what folder I wanted to put it into. Any other questions?
What's the username again?
Yeah, so you have you'll have your username.
Okay.
Yeah. For some people, it's the first letter of their first name and their full last name. Depending upon how it was sort of kind of populated in the system, it might throw in like a number at the end. But your password is your lunch code.
And I believe I have all that from an email you sent
Yeah.
me. So I'll give those to you guys right now.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.